Good morning. So today we're going to talk about ribbons and bows. I'm not a huge bow person myself, but the truth is adding ribbon to an arrangement can make such a difference. It's an accessory, so it brightens things up, it adds color, it adds a feeling. So there's a real place for using ribbon and bows in floral design. And again, it's some of those basic skills that you need to have that you can take and bounce off from there and be as creative as you want to be. So a couple of things I'd like you to be thinking about the kind of addition that ribbon can make to your arrangements. Is it really, if I had a bunch of white carnations, and I used this kind of ribbon to tie around them, that would give you a very different feeling than if I used ribbon that looked like this. So that same bunch of white carnations now with this pink ribbon around it would mean a very different thing. If I was going to the hospital to visit a friend who just had a baby, you'd be able to guess if she had a boy or a girl based on what color of ribbon I put around her flowers. So ribbon can really change some things. So you can have an arrangement that is kind of dull and boring, and you want to have it have a little bit more spunk or really have a little bit more meaning. Ribbon can do that for you. Ribbon can be formal and sparkly, like this sparkly tulle, or it can be as basic and informal as a piece of raffia. We really are using our raffia-like ribbon as well. It can add a lot of different detail to an arrangement. And picking the right kind of ribbon, depending on what kind of function or event you're designing your floral arrangements for, is really important. If you're having a backyard wedding and you were doing centerpieces for a bride and she wanted you to have some ribbon on it, you might use a beautiful burlap ribbon. But if the wedding was in St. Patrick's Cathedral with, 3,000 guests and everything was really formal with lots of crystal and lots of fancy flowers, you certainly would use something different. So it's just important to be thinking about how ribbon and bows should add to what your project is. Is it formal? Is it informal? And it can also elevate what you're doing. It can add that little, extra something. Certainly you wouldn't use this at Halloween. But boy, at Memorial Day, that bunch of white carnations can make a big difference. The other thing I want you to be thinking about with ribbon is that it's either single-sided, like this, or it's double-sided, like this, where both sides are the same. Okay, so we talk about ribbon being single-sided, and we talk about ribbon being double-sided. So, and then we also talk about ribbon as having a uniform size measurement. Just like how floral wire has the code of gauges where it's all measured by gauges, ribbon that's used in floral design has some standard number system that helps you understand the size of it. It goes from 1 to 140. 140 is like stuff like this big, like you'd see on somebody's birthday car. If someone got a car for their birthday, they put a big, huge ribbon on it, or a big, huge bow. It would be as wide as this. We don't even have any of that in the greenhouse. But the 3 standard sizes that you would use in the greenhouse are a number 3, which is what I sent you guys each home. And this is what we're going to be practicing our bow making with. I sent you each home a bolt. This is called a bolt of number 3 ribbon. So that's what we'll do with our bow making practice. Number 3 is it's a little bit less than an inch. It's about an inch. So I'm not worried if you know exactly what the measurements of these different sizes are, just that you can identify them by number. So if I told you to go over to the ribbon rack and get a bolt of number 3 ribbon, you'd know what I was looking for. The next common size is number 9. This red, white, and blue ribbon is a number 9 ribbon. We use this quite a bit during Christmas time especially. It's a little bit wider. This is a little over an inch. It's closer to 1.5 inches. And the other common size, this wired, like very camouflagey looking ribbon is a number 40. This is a very common size as well. We use this a lot at Christmas when we're making our big, lovely holiday bows. So a number 40 gives you a really nice big loop to make a nice lush bow for your Christmas wreath. So these are the 3 most common sizes of ribbon that you'll see used in a floral shop. A number 3, a number 9, and a number 40. And I'd really like you guys to remember what these are. So if you're taking some notes, that would be great. We'll probably have a little quiz on some of these vocab things and these measurements and things I want you to remember. So that's your very quick lesson on ribbon in the floral industry. One other thing is sometimes it has wire in it, like this ribbon is wired. You can see the little edge along the side. It holds its shape a little bit better when you bend things. And this stuff, I meant to send you guys home some of this so that you could play with it. This is called tulle, and this is really fun for use at prom time. The next time I send a batch of flowers home for you, I'll put some tulle in your bag as well. Tulle is the stuff that bridal veils are made out of, but we can make these little tulle tufts that are great for inserting into little designs and arrangements. So I'll show you how to make one of those as we're going along. But that would be another good vocabulary word for you. And we have tulle in all kinds of colors up on the ribbon rack. And I love to go into Joann Fabrics and pick some up every spring. And you can really see what colors are going to be trending for prom when you go into Joann's and pick up some tulle or some ribbon, because just like everything else, things come in and out of style. And so the colors that are happening in prom and weddings, it seems like this year things are kind of a richer, more full jewel tone. That's kind of what we saw when we were looking at color in some of our pictures in Florist Review as well. So formal and informal ribbon, how ribbon adds an accessory, a feeling, a mood, or some color to an arrangement, that it can be single-sided or double-sided, that it comes in 3, 9, and 40 as the sizes that we use most regularly in the greenhouse or in a floral shop. This stuff is called tulle. It's the stuff that bridal veils are made out of, and sometimes it has a wired edge that helps it hold its shape. So that's it for your brief introduction to ribbon.